Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, today I bought a very cheap Range Rover Evoque. As you all know, I'm quite a big Range Rover fan. I bought an Evoque for my mum's 60th birthday a few years ago and she loved it. She had it for about 12 months before I replaced it with a Lexus NX. And my brother's just bought an Evoque in the same colour as the one that I bought for my mum, and he loves it. So when I was offered this 2016 Evoque SE with only 54,000 miles on the clock for just 8.5 grand, I couldn't really refuse. I just couldn't help myself really because it sounded very cheap. I'm just hoping it's not cheap for a reason. The trouble with Range Rovers in general, even the little Evoque, is that they're quite costly to prepare for sale. You know, if it needs 4 tyres, there's £1,000 gone straight away. But it's been described to me as being quite nice. I have learned in this job not to trust people's descriptions, but they told me it was quite nice and quite honest. So I'm just praying that it is. I'm thinking right away this could be worth around £12,000. I had a quick look on Auto Trader and that's what they seem to be going for. So it should leave me a good profit margin. There are a couple of negatives though. Firstly is that it's manual. Now I'd prefer an auto personally, but I guess there are some people out there who still prefer to use a clutch and gears. And secondly, it's brown. A brown Evoque. I'm not sure what that'll look like. I haven't seen it yet. In fact, I haven't even seen a photo of it. So I don't know how brown this brown Evoque is. Anyway, let's go and have a look, shall we? I'll see you there. Well, we're here. I don't know if I describe that as brown, to be honest. It's not a bad colour. It reminds me, in the mid-2000s, BMW did a colour like that. Well, on the whole range, but it was popular with X5s. And it always looked quite cool. That's a very similar colour. The wheels are very dirty, so they need a good clean. What else can I tell you? The bodywork looks quite tidy. I was saying that there is a small scuff on the driver's side front bumper. And that's not too bad, really. It's a late car, that, as well. So 2016, so it's only 8 years old. They've got an AA sticker in the window. How ironic. I can't see the tyre brands, but they look okay in terms of, you know, matching tread and tread depth. Right, as always then, we're going to do a quick vehicle history check using Car Vertical. So this is really easy to use. All you do is go to carvertical.com, type in the vehicle reg or the VIN. Now in this case we know it is Charlie November, so it's a Welsh car originally, Sierra Zulu Zulu, check vehicle. By the way, if you want to do these checks for yourself, and I urge you to do so before you hand over any cash for a used car or motorbike, use my promo code HIGHPEAK and you get 20% off. That's 20%. It used to be 10, but they've upped it to 20. This will tell us now whether it's ever been stolen, written off, had a mileage rollback, or has outstanding finance on it. It's a really useful check, because it doesn't just check the UK, it checks dozens of other countries. So for example, if a car's been previously registered somewhere else and it's had an accident, this will tell us. There we go, and the report's ready. So, 436 million vehicles were checked over 35 countries. Okay then, right, this is a Land Rover Range Rover diesel 2016. It's never been clocked, no outstanding finance, and there's no recorded damage. And never been stolen. That's the result. Now at the last MOT it done 50,000 miles. I believe it's done 54, but I've bought 8 or 9 cars this morning, so I can't quite remember. What else? So the MOT history is consistent, the mileage is consistent, that's all good. Now the last known selling price of this car was £21,342. It must have been a few years ago, I suppose. Tax band D. It's a 2 litre, so that is the Ingenium engine. It's all-wheel drive and it's manual and it is brown. Ah, look at this as well. This is what's good about Car Vertical. So we've got photos here of the previous time it was for sale. So it was for sale, alright, it doesn't show pictures of the car, but it shows photographs of when they loaded that car into stock at a place called Pinkstones, which, funnily enough, is an MG dealer, and it's also got Pinkstone plates on the car. That was in November 21, so that's when it must have been a 21 grand car. Very good. Right, I suppose we should go and have a look around it, shouldn't we? Very good. Okay then, let's go and have a look at this Evoque. It's not really brown, is it? More of a, I don't know, more of a latte colour. There we go. So over to the tyres then. We're running on a Michelin at the back, which looks ancient actually. What year is this? What year is this? Doesn't tell me. But I can tell by the cracking in the sidewall that it's quite an old one. So that, oh yeah, look at all the cracks here. That's very old. That needs replacing then, ASAP. Bodywork wise, it looks quite straight down the panels. The panel gaps look good. We've got rear sensors, matching plates. We've got a large rear plate as well, which I like to see. No privacy, that's a good thing. It is very Very honest and original, isn't it? It's not a Pimp My Ride special. The other good thing to report, of course, is that we've got both keys. And unlike Range Rover keys of this era, I can't see straight through to the circuit board. They're in decent condition. Both of them. So that's a result. Up front we've got a Trackmar. Trackmar, right, okay. Never heard of that. But it's on, it's quite low actually, that probably wants replacing. That's on about 3 mil, 2.5, 3 mil. And the wheels are disgusting. They need a good wash. This was the damage I was talking about, so it's not too bad. That needs painting, and then that could be blended into here, I think, and just sort of flick it in and lose it. That's not too bad, and a little bit there, of course. Probably 150 quid, 200 quid maybe, job done. Up front, the badges aren't all corroded and worn, that's good. Just needs a good clean, really. I think I might remove the AA sticker. Looks a bit sinister, doesn't it? We've got another Trackmar on the front. I might put a set of decent tyres on this, you know, something like Nexon or something. The discs look good on the front though, so that's good. Moving around the back, we've got another ancient matching Michelin. This one's even worse. Got all the cracks on that, I can't even see. Can't even see anything. Oh, 2015 that tyre. Can't be the original, surely. Unless someone's put part warns on, cheap part warns. Yeah, that colour doesn't offend me though, looks alright. So in terms of spec, let's see if we've got a power tailgate then, shall we? I don't think so, unless it's broken. No, it's not power. Definitely not. Needs a good clean. Yeah, it's grubby, but it'll clean. It'll clean. Move around the back then, we've got a nice... The alarm works. So we've got brown carpets to match the brown exterior, and inside we've got a beige leather interior. It smells a bit sort of musty, like a musty smell. Yeah, it's very grubby, but it will all clean. Got lots of hair everywhere. Possibly a lady's car this then. Got some parking tickets down there. We've got powerful mirrors, that's good. Let's get in. So this is an Evoque SE, so we've got heated seats, electric seats. It's alright like this, really. Let's see how bad this clutch is. Slight sort of heat shield rattle then, wasn't there? Did you hear that? Sounds alright though. We've got no warning lights on, which is good. It has done 54,000 miles. And it's got the later system. So my brother's is a 2012, I think, or 2013 or something. His doesn't have this. So this is later. And it's also got that later screen as well. So that's all good. Have we got a reverse camera? Don't think we do. No, we don't. We've got sensors though. Get my seat on. There we go. Sat nav. Where would my sat nav be? No sat nav then. Oh well, not the end of the world, is it? Well, there are no goodies to be found anywhere. Always like to find something entertaining. Right, I'll spin this camera around then so I don't reveal any GDPR or whatever it's called. Oh, this had a new turbo fitted in September last year at a cost of £911. So that's good. They also had a service at the same time. We've got a print off of the history as well, so we can see everything that it's had done. It had a new EGR valve, typical diesel, isn't it really? Turbo and EGR. It had a service at 50. Then we've got some Land Rover history here at 2 miles, 16,000 miles in Newport, hence the Welsh plate, and another one at Newport at 28,000 miles. The colour, do you want to know this? I didn't know this actually. Kaikoura stone. Sounds better than brown, doesn't it, that? Kaikoura stone. We've got more receipts here for DPF clean and regen, typical diesel. Yeah, DPF regen, EGR. Very good, right. We've got a load of Welsh MOTs as well. Well, I think it's only had 2 owners this then. One in Wales and one in Lancashire. Right, so the history's pretty good then, we know that. So I think what I need to do then is give this a service, a fresh MOT, 4 new tyres. See what I mean about the cost running away with themselves. Before you know it, this is going to owe me £10,000, but I think it's worth at least 12, possibly a little bit more. But now, I think we need to give it a drive, don't we? Get out on the road and make sure it's all right. The 4-wheel drive system on this is like a Haldex system. I need to make sure that it doesn't snatch on the back. So I'll drive around the car park first and do a figure of 8 and see that it doesn't snatch. Right, buckle up then first. My handbrake works. Raise me up a little bit. There we go. First gear then. So we're going to drive around the Wonder Grip van first. Do a little figure of 8 and make sure we're all right. Well, straight away, it isn't snatching. That's a good sign. Feels quite nice, this actually. Alright, we'll make a move then. Hit the road. Well, my heated seat's definitely working. It's alright, toasty bottom. Clutch feels alright actually. It's nice and light. We're getting quite a long list with this car, aren't we? I've just remembered the bit of paint work, so we're into a couple £100 for that, £1,000 for tyres, I guess, or, you know, 800 quid. Service, MOT, possibly rear brake disc and pads. And what else are we on with? I'll speak to my mechanics as well and get to sort out that heat shield rattle. It can't be much. Something just wants adjusting, I imagine, or resecuring. So far, this is all right. We've got start-stop, so I assume that means it's... I assume that's ULEZ, is it? Should have AdBlue as well, shouldn't it? Not that I like that, but it does open up my target market a little bit, doesn't it? We've got cruise control, Bluetooth. Right, foot down then. Make sure it doesn't smoke. This is only the TD4, so I think it's 177 horsepower. I was kind of dreading this manual gearbox because most of the time I just can't be bothered driving a manual, but it's a bit like that Discovery Sport I filmed with recently. Actually quite a nice box to use. It's quite tight. And it drives very well. Doesn't clunk or knock over bumps or lumps in the road. It's all pretty good. And it feels quite responsive really. Doesn't feel laggy in any way. That'll be its brand new £911 turbo, I guess, won't it? Yeah, I don't hate this. I think the originality of this will sell it. The fact that it's so clean and original. Hopefully I can find somebody who appreciates the colour combination and doesn't want a black with a black pack. No pan roof. Any sunglasses for me? No. There are no goodies in this one. Oh, we've got a loyalty card here for the Red Rose hand car wash and valeting sites, wherever that is. We're 3 away from a free one. And I thought I didn't have any goodies. Let me just sting this a little bit then. There's no wheel bearing noise or drivetrain noise. It's all quite refined, really. They do drive well, these, you know. No wonder my brother loves this. Interestingly, you know, my mum's Lexus NX, which is the second one she's had, was in its Lexus Stockport for a service a couple of weeks ago. So my brother lent her his Evoque, and then I picked him up and went to work. But my mum, who'd had an Evoque for a year or so, when she got back into that one, she said the size was better than the NX, it was easier for her to park and all that sort of stuff. But the quality was nowhere near as high as the Lexus, which I knew already. It's just interesting for other kind of non-car people to comment. Well, it's not smoking this at all. We're all right, I think. Brakes feel quite sharp. Right, let me crack on with this then. Let me run it down to my mechanics. Order 4, I think we'll go with Nexon or Avon or something middle of the road. I don't want to go mad and start putting Pirellis on it and stuff. Still need to make some profit, but I'm not putting land sales on either. So we'll do that, and then I'll catch up with you in, give me 10 days. I've got to get this booked in the paint shop. Give me 10 days and I should have a nice clean Evoque with 4 brand new tyres. Right, I'll see you then. And we're back in my brown Evoque. Sorry, Kaikoura Stone. It's brown, isn't it? Let's face it, it is a brown car. Anyway, it's all done now and prepared for sale, so let me tell you what happened. Do you think I've massively overspent on this one? Do you? I have. After we last spoke, I took this down to my mechanics for a full engine service using genuine parts, 4 matching tyres, a clean MOT, and I asked them to sort out that rattle. Do you remember occasionally it would rattle when I started it up? From the back somewhere, I presumed it was a heat shield, and luckily for me, it was. They did that, they resecured it, it passed its MOT with not a single advisory item. I put 4 brand new Nexon tyres on it, which are kind of a middle of the road tyre, they're a decent brand really. I didn't want to go all out and start putting Pirelli Scorpions on it, I didn't want to completely lose the plot, but I thought 4 matching Nexons, that'll do the job. They're not Lansales, Evergreens or Triangles, so I haven't completely cut corners. My mechanic also updated the online service record with OOSH, Online Service History JLR, or whatever it's called, so we're all good to go. Sadly though, I did have quite a large bill. 4 tyres and all that sort of stuff, don't come cheap. After that, I picked it up from there and took it to the body shop. Now on this occasion, I used a place called Stratton Smart, who I've been using for several years now. They did that front bumper corner for me. If you remember, it was a little bit scuffed and it damaged the black plastic arch. So they painted it for me and then they remoulded and reshaped the black plastic, I think using heat. They've done a nice subtle repair to it and you'd never know. Looks as good as new. From there then, I took it over to the lads at Tameside Detailing for a full clean. It wasn't completely hanging or anything, this car, but it did need a good wash. And I got it back from them, and it looked like a new penny. From there, I took it back to work and I fitted some new High Peak Autos plates. I didn't like the old Pinkstone MG plates, so I thought I'd treat it to a fresh set of High Peak Autos plates, including a large rear. An oversized rear just works really well in a Range Rover, whether it's a Sport, a full fat, or a little Evoque. Once the plates were fitted, I took some photographs of it. Turn off my heated seat there because my bottom is on fire. And I've got this advertised for £12,995, which is a bit more than I thought it would do. But I had a good look on Australia this morning, and I think it'll do 13 grand, you know. So I thought, why not? You've got to make hay while the sun shines, haven't you? As they say. What are we waiting for here? Somebody in a bright yellow Picanto. Saying that, it's probably about 50 horsepower. They probably haven't got the power to pull out. It's fine, we're not in a rush, are we? We're having a nice time, aren't we? Aren't we? There we go, right. Now we're talking. If you remember, I paid 8.5 grand for this car, so if I can get anywhere near 12,995, that should leave me with quite a healthy profit margin. How healthy? Well, let's find out, shall we? All right then, here is as good a place as any. Let's work out what I've spent. In fact, we'll work backwards. So, let me get my calculator out. If we get 12,995 for it, 12,995 less the 8.5 I paid for the car, so we've got a gross profit margin of 4,495, which is very healthy, I won't lie. Now, my bill at my mechanics was, let me get my picture of the bill up. Oh yeah, right. £989 and 12 pence. So 989, 12 pence. This profit margin's eroding, isn't it? Then my bill at my paint shop was 150 plus VAT, so £180 there for that bumper corner and plastic repair. £70 at the valeters. £25 on some number plates. I think that's it. So if I can get 12,995 for it, then I will have made a profit of £3,230 and 2 fat ladies, 88. Which is pretty good going, isn't it? I was thinking this was a 12 grand car, not a, what am I trying to do? Handbrake. I was thinking this was a 12 grand car, not a 13 grand car, but I'm only going off what's out there. And it does drive particularly well now, and it's nice and clean, in good condition. So it's prepped well, really. Well, I think that's about it. Thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. I'll leave the link below. And yeah, cheers guys. Thank you for joining me on this little adventure once again. I do like your company, so gracias. Right, see you next time.